read your Bible 2 hours a day? You say, Eddie, I ain't got 2 hours a day. And you may not. I don't know what your schedule is. I know I can get up just a little bit earlier. And for you, it may not be 2 hours, maybe an hour. I'm sure we kill at least an hour a day doing something, don't we? Something else. You know, a young man was interviewing D.L. Moody, and they walking down the street, you know, and God used D.L. Moody mightily. And D.L. Moody just starts talking. He turns from having a conversation with the young man and just starts talking. And he says, And they go a little further, and he does it again. He says, well, the old man's losing his mind. Finally he says, sir, who are you talking to? He said, God, son. I'm having a casual conversation with the sovereign Lord of the universe, right? Think about that for just a minute. But the intimate relationship with God, can you think of one that would be better than that? To trust Him, love. And so if somebody's talking to you, you're in a conversation, and your conversation is about Christ and saving grace and what God does and all those kind of things, doesn't that sound pretty wise? Where somebody's talking about this nonsense or that nonsense, and all that stuff is finite and going to be burned up, and what we're sharing is eternal things. Listen, for a believer, our conversations, and listen, I've talked to people, and had them in my own family, who said, well, it's just too much. It's just too much. And I'm saying, man, we ain't even nowhere close enough. We've quit even trying, is where we are. Now, here's the thing. What do you have to do if you lack wisdom? What's the first thing you have to do? Do you have to own it, that you realize you're lacking it? You know, I've had some friends of mine who knew everything, about everything. We had this one guy, we called him Cro-Magnon. Cro-Magnon. I don't care what the subject matter was or the topic, he was an authority in it. I mean, we just sit back and listen. And matter of fact, we said, Crow knows, right? Well, I'm not, and there's some things we know a little bit about. But here's the thing, when I look at my life and say, God, I don't know enough of your word. God, I don't know enough about you. I certainly don't know enough about the salvation process to tell somebody how to get saved. I mean, could you own that if you don't know? Lord, I don't know about this topic and that topic, so could I know? Listen, you're living in the age of technology where you can find out any information you want. I listened to the news today of a 14-year-old boy who started a business, and he's making deals and all this kind of stuff. And you know where he got all his legal advice and all that? Internet. Every bit of it. Went on Chat GPT and different things. He went on that. Now he's 19, worth a buku of money, got all these businesses going on. He said, that's just what I want to do. He said, to me, it ain't even about the money. He said, I don't care about the money. He said, I like doing this and this and this and this and this, being engaged. But we go through processes, and we don't want to identify the fact that there's something we need. And it might be wisdom. Let him ask of God. If you lack it, and you realize you lack it, then if I'm looking for wisdom, so I would want to look for the highest authority on wisdom, right? If my plumbing's bad, who do I want to call? A sheetrocker? I don't want to call a sheetrocker, I want to call a plumber, right? And so if I'm looking for the highest authority in wisdom, who do I call? That crowd from Harvard? No. Columbia? No. I ain't going to talk to them. They might know that pi r squared, but Eddie know pi r round. Right? I'm smarter than they are when it comes to eating. But if I want